Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm me, I'm Rob. I'm still riding that high of a one win. Well, two wins.
Oh, yeah, you want some more of those wins there? Once you get
that
that one
horse.
win, you get hooked on the wins. Get hooked on the wins.
You got any more of those wins out there?
Dude, hooked on winning. Do.
I am believing that we're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, let's not get carried away. Now. Let's not get carried away.
Getting very carried away.
You're high and more than just winning if you think that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're going to go over a little bit of Giants news here for you that happened today. Apparently, Jashaun, as soon as the game was over, got a little busy. Had a little visits here the next day, and we got some news
that
here.
feeling too.
some new players here. One not so new, but kind of new, and one very new. And of course, we're going to go over with you guys all of the Week 7 action here for the NFL as well. So let's start off with the big signing here. Oh yes, we signed our new water boy. No, I'm kidding.
Water sucks. It really sucks.
Really sucks. So yeah, we got a brand new punt returner. In case it wasn't obvious to you guys yet, we need a punt returner.
Oh yeah.
If only we had one like Jamison Crowder. You know,
you're saying Eric Brady's not the guy.
Point. Yeah, and he's hurt now. He hurt himself on the fumble, which is the bad part. So yeah, we now have a new potential punt returner who has about as cool an NFL football name as you could possibly have, especially for a special teamer. His name is literally Gunnar. So Gunnar Olszewski. And I'll tell you this, if you look at the last name, you will never think it's pronounced Olszewski. But that's apparently how it's pronounced. I watched highlight film of him today just to see how to pronounce his name.
We're just going to call him Ski.
Yeah. Oh, we can't call him that because, as people who went to Raritan, of course, if anybody else is listening and thrown to our Armada, you're going to think of Coach Ski at that point.
Yeah. Come on, Moose.
You're not Moose. You're not Moose. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. But, yeah, so he is a wide receiver technically. Technically because he really doesn't play offense at all, pretty much. Jordan Ronan was the first guy to go ahead and break the news. Apparently, we brought him in along with Marquez Callaway and TJ Luther for visits, and this was who they ended up signing at that point, for better or worse. He was originally an undrafted free agent at a Division II Bemidji State, which I'm probably mispronouncing it because, Bemidji. Yeah, good luck pronouncing that one. I looked up the one pronunciation. I can't look all up, okay? That's a Scrabble word and a half right there for you when you got a whole bunch of shit that you can't figure out how to make a word. He was a cornerback there. Was actually like one of the best cornerbacks. It's just crazy kind of way at that point. It's the typical Patriot kind of player. His rookie season, he averaged 17.3 yards per return and a touchdown, was the best punt returner in the NFL by far. Then came down to earth a little bit the rest of his time period there. Played for a few years there for the Patriots, played the last 2 years for the Steelers. Still averaging 12 yards per return on 75 punts overall. Last year only played in 2 games, and I did look to try to find out more information on why. I couldn't find out why. So if anybody has a Steeler fan in their house or anything that wants to ask what happened there, it wasn't on anything. Like there was just no news on it whatsoever. It's like he just disappeared off the face of the earth for some reason.
Well, so the Steelers, they haven't known what they've been doing for the past 2 seasons. Like, look at them. They're 4-2.
They still got Tomlin. They're good. They're fine.
Yeah. They're 4-2 this year. They're the worst 4-2 team out there.
Doesn't matter. They got Tomlin. That's all that matters. You got a good coach. You'll figure it out.
They don't know what to do.
I know. But yeah, good guy to get. I have to imagine. But the 2 games only played. He was probably injured last year because the Giants signed him, and that's what we signed is injured players and players coming off injuries.
We like that.
Yeah,
Did
we
he
do.
tear his ACL by chance?
Have we the team for you? He did also return kicks in his career as well. He's turned 41 kicks for a 22-yard average. Obviously, kick returns aren't that big a deal anymore in the NFL, so I'm not too worried about that. If he can catch the ball and not fumble it, I'll be happy. And get the occasional decent punt return, I'll be happy. As far as offensively for his career, he's got 15 career catches for 180 yards and 1 touchdown. So, yeah. Like I said, you're not going to see him on the field in offense, really. He's also rushed the ball 14 times for 71 yards. So, that means you're going to see him maybe 6 times a year on offense actually touching the ball.
I was about to say.
A lot. But that's not what we signed him for. We signed him because we need someone that can return a punt. It's amazing that this far deep into the season, we're still trying to figure that out. It's a very simple thing. It's not a difficult part of the game. Now, don't get me wrong. There's only certain people, a certain number of people that are dynamic at returning punts. But for the most part, it's catch the ball, try to move forward as much as possible, and not lose the ball in the process.
I mean, who's been our solid punt returner? Yeah,
had one in years.
That's what I'm gonna. Yeah, that's exactly where I was getting at.
Yeah,
you mean Adoree Jackson wasn't our kick returner last year?
I'm trying to go back and think who it was, and I'm wondering, is Dwayne Harris the last good one we had? How many years ago was that? I mean, oof.
Yeah,
might
be it.
He might be, and the last time he was a New York Giant was 2017, folks. So, yeah, not exactly a good time for punt returns with the Giants there lately. So hopefully this changes. Hopefully this gets things going. So welcome, Olszewski, and hopefully I am pronouncing that right. But like I said, that's what I've heard multiple people pronounce it as. It's literally Olszewski. They could be. Listen, how many players you see correct people years into their career, like Bobby Okereke.
I was going to say Okereke. He used to be Okereke. He changed his name.
How about Tyrod Taylor? Everybody still calls him Tyrod Taylor, including us. It's actually like I forget what it's called. It was some other pronunciation of Tyrod. It wasn't Tyrod. It's like T-Rod or something like that. I forget.
To knock.
Somebody in the comment section can correct me at that point where it was. But yeah, like I said, it happens all the time because people just assume how you pronounce things instead of asking. Just ask. It's not difficult.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a reporter, you have access to these people. So hopefully somebody with a brain like Pat Traina or somebody like that will ask him how to verify their pronunciation so we have it correctly. Because I don't want to butcher someone's name. It's their name. It's a respect thing.
Yeah. And I got one of those awesome last names where it gets pronounced 7 different ways, and I have to correct people all the time. So people will definitely correct. Well, majority of people.
Some will.
Yeah.
Some will.
You get some people who are like, I guess that's just mean for me to correct someone on how they're mispronouncing my name.
All based on your personality. That's all it is to it. Now, Giants also signed a running back. As I said, Eric Gray is now injured. And, of course, Eric Gray is so important. We need to sign 2 people to make up for his loss.
So all the production he puts out.
Yeah, exactly. Freaking bum. Who said that? So the Giants brought back Jashaun Corbin, who looked better in preseason than Eric Gray did, and should have been the guy we kept all along. He was on the Carolina Panthers practice squad. Now, I will say this. When you're stuck on the practice squad of the only team in the NFL without a win, that's not a good sign. It's not like Miles Sanders is running the ball with conviction this year, okay?
No.
This should be the easiest roster to crack there is. But yeah, that's where they're at. That was first reported by Pat Leonard of the Daily News. So remember, of course, obviously he was with us through the preseason. He was with us all last year on the practice squad. So he knows the offense. He can just step in and go. Kind of like we got Tyree Phillips back as well. So like I said, it's a good pickup. Though. I like it. Alrighty. So before we get into the games, we got a couple comments. Let's go through them real quick here.
Sure.
Dennis, what's up, man? Says,
how you doing,
who did we pay off to release their punt returner? We should send them a comp pick. No, he was a free agent. That's why I'm thinking it was an injury thing because he's been a good returner. Dennis says 500 teams in college football have punt returns, but it took another team to release their guy for the Giants to sign one. Yeah, it took the Giants to realize that it's actually somewhat important. That's what it boils down to. Because, we just, for whatever reason, did not take a chance. I just don't get it. I don't get it. We had the chance to go ahead and keep Jamison Crowder. We should have probably kept him over. And I hate to say this because, I like this guy. We probably should have kept him over Shep. At the very least, we should have kept him over Eric Gray, but had another. But then we got to figure out who's going to be the other running back at that point. So,
yeah, I mean it's kind of hard. Eric Gray, like as much as say what you want to say about him, you draft him this year.
I do.
You got to see what he's got. That's why you draft him. There's a reason. There's a reason why they draft him. So they want to see. They want to see.
It wouldn't piss me off if I didn't see so many late round running backs making, I wouldn't say a large impact. Like H.N. obviously he's made a pretty decent impact in the games he's played in. But a lot of the late round running backs have shown you something. And Eric Gray says, show me nothing. I can't.
It just shows you the gray skies.
Yes. So Deb says, I know we've discussed Tommy DeVito. I still wish we could see more of him. Look what undrafted Tyson Bagent did in Chicago on Sunday. Listen, Tyson is a different animal altogether. That man literally broke Division II records. Should have been drafted. And I know Deb knows this because she's obviously watched enough episodes to know I was pounding the table for them to draft this kid all the time during our draft coverage. I said he should have been picked up like 6th, 7th round. Make sure we get him. He's the backup of the future. And listen, he outplayed Justin Fields last week based on how Justin Fields has not protected the ball and had issues with that. So we'll get into that game more later. But
I was about to say, he's also...
He also didn't exactly he didn't light it up either. But, I mean, still, he was efficient. He did what he had to do to win.
It was a good enough to be a commanding win.
That's all that matters. Dennis says there's like 200 punt returners from last year's college teams that are flipping burgers that would smack Evan with a spatula for a chance. Why? Why they smack Evan with a spatula, or why are they flipping burgers? I'm confused on the why part. That's all.
Now, are they smacking with the hot spatula, or did they just wash that spatula?
And like, where are they smacking him? That's also very important.
Yeah, is it greasy still?
Oh, now you're good.
So greasy. Nice greasy hot spatula.
Now you're taking this to a place that's.
Hey-oh.
Next comment. He says, I'm beating my head on the wall over this. Hopefully our return team is stable. Listen, it's as stable as it gets when you go ahead and get a guy like this signed. A guy who's literally been an all-pro, a guy who's been a steady force at that position for a couple of years now. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to lose sleep. First off, I'm not going to lose sleep in general over the returner.
No.
But yeah, they got a guy who can do it now. All right. On to the games. Thursday. We start with Thursday night, of course, with the Jaguars face the Saints. And as always, we give you just the final score because if you don't know what happened in Thursday night football by now, you probably are not an actual football fan, and you're just here for the eye candy that Rob and I are. Hello.
Hey.
Jags 34, Saints 21. Next game, Rob.
Going into Sunday
day.
For the first big, I guess you wouldn't say upset, but first dominating game. Yeah, this is the first dominating game. You got the Lions going into Baltimore playing the Ravens over here. And the Ravens clubbed the Lions.
They spanked the Lions like they were Evan Neal, and the Ravens had a spatula.
100%. Hot, greasy spatula. Ravens 38, Lions 6. Suggs added to the Ravens Ring of Honor, which is
he sizzle.
T-Sizzle with that spatula.
You're
The
getting
line's
obsessed with spatula here.
a little bit.
It's crossing to the line of creepiness.
The lines kind of look like lines past, if you will. They just kind of get dominated and just spanked.
Yeah.
Golf
with a spatula. I know.
With a spatula.
I knew you were going to say it. So I'm going to say it for you.
Golf. I don't want to say.
See what you started, Dennis.
I don't want to say completely reverted, but I mean, when you're 33 at 53 attempts, it was very a one-dimensional game. They were definitely missing those two running backs over there. He also had 284 yards on the day with 1 interceptions. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 13 catches, 102 yards. Lamar Jackson did what Lamar Jackson does, finally. 21 of 27, 357 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown on the day. Mark Andrews, my fantasy tight end, 63 yards, 4 catches, 2 TDs. Lovely TDs he had. And Zay Flowers, the guy that I liked coming out of this draft. 4 catches, 75 yards.
I definitely, when I make the notes for the episodes, I definitely highlight people that are rookies that we liked coming out of the draft. That just validating our points here. That's what I do. Speaking of validating our points, the Raiders at the Bears. The Raiders. Bears win 30-12. Dominating the Raiders. It's a Tyson Bagent coming out party. The Raiders couldn't stop the Bears offense, who simply just played smart and protected the ball. Nothing crazy. There's a lot of screens, a lot of short throws, that kind of stuff. And the defense for the Bears really stepped up today, including having a pick 6. The Raiders even tried 2 different quarterbacks in this game. They still couldn't get it going. Obviously, Jimmy G was out with, what I understand, a broken penis from going to the brothel.
Yes.
Aiden O'Connell, 10 of 13, 75 yards and interception. Brian Hoyer, I can't believe he's still playing in the NFL. 17 of 32, 129 yards, 2 interceptions. Devontae Adams, they basically tried to force the ball to him all day long. It just didn't work. 7 catches, 57 yards. Josh Jacobs continuing his amazing season, 11 carries, 35 yards. Just, wow. They're very glad they did not sign him to that long-term deal, that's for sure. Tyson Bagent was 21 of 29, 162 yards and a touchdown. Like I said, just simple, smart football. Deontay Foreman, 18 carries, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a reception TD. Good guy to have you on fantasy.
Yeah, not in my fantasy, but yeah. One of the best things I did in fantasy, though, was I had Devontae Adams taken pretty early in the first round, and I traded him for A.J. Brown.
Oh, there you go. That was a good pick.
Yeah, it was a good switcheroonie. Good trades right off the bats.
I'm a little hurt you want an Eagle, but whatever.
Listen, I don't want the Eagles, but also Devontae Adams, who was going to throw to him, Jimmy G. And now look at it. He's got 2 other quarterbacks he can't throw to him. Anyway, next game, Browns in Indianapolis. This was actually a game to watch.
Wow.
It was just the game that I thought this game was going to be a very low scoring game. If you took away the first 3 and put a 1, I would have been like, all right, that makes more sense of a score. Or just took away the first 3. But the Browns win 39-38. I thought it was going to be like a 9-8 game, but whatever. Deshaun Watson finally played. And I mean, he didn't look so good last year, and he's come back. Like, he's really finally healthy again. And some people say it's a rust, but at this point, I don't think it's rust. I think it's just bad. I don't think he's coming back and look good
at all. Any truth to the rumors that the rust was there because of excess use of massage oil?
Oh.
It oxidized his shoulder.
That could have been. Paint rust any color, still rust.
But
yeah, you want to believe in the game. It was concussion protocol, right?
Yeah.
He got knocked a little around in there.
1 and 5, an interception. Bad start.
Yeah. Terrible. But yeah, this game was back and forth nonstop. Like, I was trying to leave my aunt and uncle, so this way Drew and I could record yesterday, and I was getting stuck watching this game, and I had to finally leave. That's true.
Are you not going to use my comments?
This game was scored back and forth more than a threesome with 2 women and a guy. Was it ordering a Viagra?
ODing on
Viagra. Nice.
every so often I gotta put a fun little note to see. And sometimes you just read along, you're like, oh, and you never realize what you say. You're like freaking what's his name? The anchor man, what's his name? Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy.
You're like Ron Burgundy. Just
Scotch. Gardner Minshew also made Colts history, by the way.
Porn stash himself.
The porn stash himself. He had it was 15 of 23 on the day, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns. He's the first Colt in their history to have 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 throwing touchdowns as a QB for a Colt. So Minshew, kudos. JT comes back, 18 carries, 75 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. PJ Walker, Wolf, comes in, throws for 32 times, gets 15 completions, 178 yards, 1 interception.
Listen, you can whoop all you want. He still won, goddammit. He beat the freaking Colts and the Niners.
Touche. I'll give you that. Kareem Hunt, 10 carries, 31 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was a red zone machine.
Seriously, 10 carries. Can you imagine if you were like, well,
you're averaging 3.1 yards per carry. Kudos. Here's 2 touchdowns.
Imagine if I had told you going into this game, the Browns, of course, with probably the best defense in all of football this year so far, that you'd have Deshaun Watson get knocked out of the game. PJ Walker would step in, get 178 yards at interception, and Kareem Hunt would rush 10 times for 31 yards, and that the Browns would win 39-38. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sold on the Browns being the number 1 defense in this
league
I'm saying
now, they are undoubtedly one of the best ones in the league.
Yes.
They're at least top 3.
Yeah,
at least top 3.
Yeah.
Number 1's always for dispute. There's always a dispute.
Yeah.
But they're definitely
arguably top 3, top 5. Top 3. I'll probably get right around that ballpark. 3. But
I'm saying that's crazy. It's insanity.
But you also gave up 4 touchdowns to backup quarterback and the Colts, who have not looked great.
Well, again,
are they really?
First off, the Colts. I will dispute the Colts have not looked great. The Colts have looked damn good. I'll tell you what. Both of these teams, the Colts and the Cardinals, that the 2 coordinators from the Eagles last year are now head coaches of. Both those teams are building, and those coaches are doing a hell of a good job on both those teams.
Listen, I've been riding the Colt train for a while. I've been riding that Colt.
A horse, not a train.
Touche. Yes, you're right. Tush. Tony Fields, the second. 2 fumble, recovered for a touchdown.
No, he had 1 fumble. Tony Fields the second, not 2 fumbles.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said 2 fumbles. You said 2 fumbles.
2 fumble. The second. Sorry.
How many completions did Amani Cooper have?
Hopkins had 4 field goals on the day, which is bonkers. Dustin Hopkins. And then Miles Garrett. What?
Tootsie. Dustin Hoffman, Tootsie?
Yes. Dustin Hoffman. What? It's a Hopkins.
You said Hoffman. You said Hoffman.
Sure I did. Anyway, Miles Garrett, 2 sacks.
You're trying to seduce me.
I am trying to seduce you.
I'm gonna use all the Dustin Hoffman quotes now for the rest of this game.
For the game? Fantastic.
The rest of this game. We're fuckers.
But yeah, Miles Garrett had a crazy day, by the way. Did you watch that game? Did you watch that block field goal?
I didn't watch the whole game. I watched parts of it. I watched the blocked freaking field goal he did. Oh my god! He literally just jumped over the offensive line,
like a hurdle,
and just was standing there all by himself, like hands up, like blocking it. Like what the hell? Hands up, baby, hands up.
Yeah, savage game.
Like what the hell? Fantastic. Like you should not be able to just leapfrog another man. Like I don't know if to give him kudos for getting off the line that quickly, or am I giving non-kudos to the Colts there for allowing somebody to jump over them before they even get into a standing position? I mean, what the hell?
I don't know. I sat there and all watching this. I was like,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All righty. Next game. Bills at the Patriots. Talk about crazy. Patriots win 29-25. Like, what the hell? The Patriots win. Patriots were literally coasting to a win, and then the Bills came back to grab the lead late. Mac Jones, though, leads the Patriots on a game-winning drive for Bill Belichick's 300th career win. So congratulations to the once a giant, always a giant Bill Belichick. Listen, it's part of it. You gotta give him the kudos on that, because listen, those 2 rings. How many rings does Parcells have without Belichick?
Touche.
I'll give you a hint. It's a round number less than 1. Now, I'm not giving Belichick. I'm not giving Belichick the credit for those. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying he was part of that success. And while Parcells did get back to the Super Bowl with the Patriots, did get back to the AFC title game, the championship game there a couple times with the Jets there, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
He never repeated that Super Bowl success with anybody else. He made them all into winners, but never got over that hump. The lovely lady
humps.
He needed, apparently, Bill Belichick. So, kudos to him. So, Josh Allen of the day, 27-41, 265, 2 touchdowns, interception, and a rush TD. Stephon Diggs, we talked about him like crazy before we played him. We said Stephon Diggs determines how this Bills offense goes. Well, apparently, Bill Parcells listens to the 2 Giant Goofballs podcast. Hi, Bill, because 6 catches, 58 yards. They held him in check. Mac Jones today, 25 of 30, 272, 2 touchdowns. Kendrick Bourne and Mike Gesicki each had a reception for a touchdown there. Gesicki was the one who had the game winner. Ezekiel Elliott had a rushing touchdown of the game as well. So, good turnaround game for the Patriots. I hope they don't continue that, so we play them in a couple weeks. But
fun fact about that game too: Mac Jones becomes his 3rd highest ever completion rate for a quarterback in Patriots history, with I think it was 82 and change. You know who beat him twice? Mr. Tom Brady himself.
I was thinking Brady, but I'm like, that sounds like a trick question the way you worded that. I was going to go
Tom Brady and 85 and 83. Then
I was going to say Drew Bledsoe just because you worded it as if that was a trick question. Why would you do that to me? Why would you make me look stupid? I do that enough on my own. Goddamn it, Rob.
Sorry. Next, we got the Commanders going into MetLife to play the Giants. Guys, we talked about this game yesterday. Giants won 14-7, so rewatch our show from yesterday.
Oh, yeah, watch that recap. We were happy for once. We had confetti flying.
There was not many Fs.
It was spectacular. All right, Falcons at the Bucks. Falcons win 16-13 in what a game that could very well decide the division the way things are going. Bijan Robinson barely even really played, so wasn't feeling well, was basically used as a decoy in the game there. Both teams scored a touchdown in their first drive on the game. No touchdowns the rest of the game entirely. So this is one of those games like the Falcons played like the Giants. And what I mean by that is, damn, like they could have destroyed the Bucks if the Bucks didn't get some key defensive plays there. Falcons fumbled the ball on a snap on the 1-yard line and lost the ball. Like they're 1 yard from scoring a touchdown. Desmond Ridder also had the ball knocked out of his arm while on a scramble and was going in for the touchdown. And literally got the ball knocked out right before he went in the end zone. What means they get the ball back at the 1-yard line and they couldn't get it in from there. So, game was tied with less than a minute left because the Bucks had to score a late field goal. Kyle Pitts got a massive, huge catch there to put him in field goal range, and really everybody thought this game was about to go in overtime. And instead, it ends in regulation there with the Falcons barely pulling this one out. Baker Mayfield, 27 of 42, 275, touchdown, interception. Mike Evans, 6 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown. Chris Godwin, 6 catches, 66 yards. Desmond Ridder, 19 of 25, 250 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Drake London, 6 catches, 54 yards. Overall, bad football, boring game. Don't rewatch this one, guys.
Ridder, he did
Riddle
enough.
Riddle me that.
He just did enough to save his job for one more week. Pretty
Listen,
much.
he'll get the job for the year. It's just this is a position that the Falcons, if they want to go further, they're going to need to upgrade that position. Point blank.
I mean, there's been talks about him going on the bench. There's been talks about him going on the bench for the past couple of weeks.
There's been talks on both players, man. Baker Mayfield too. But tell you, people down here in Tampa Bay are either loving him or hating him at that point. There, he's a guy who hasn't played horrendous, but the offense hasn't been able to put up a lot of points. And keep in mind, the Bucks started out 2-0. They're now 3-4. So that means they're 1-4 the last five games there, guys.
That's pretty much what Baker Mayfield does for your football team.
So that's not good. All right, next up.
All right, up next. This is the upside game I want to talk about because this is the Steelers going into the Rams. The Rams have looked like the returning playoff team that they should be, and the Steelers don't know what their identity is.
They got Mike Tomlin. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Kenny Pickett with his Whopper Jr. hands. They get 24 over the Rams 17. It was a close game for the most of it. It was back and forth. You had Puka Nacua had a couple nice catches in there.
Nacua.
Steelers tied up with 14 minutes left. They took a 7-point lead with 4 minutes left. Steelers were driving. What'd you put there? They were trying to end the clock. Kenny Pickett got the most
generous spot ever.
He did.
So if you guys watched that game, literally it was a 4th and 1. They went for it. He was like a half a yard shy, and they just gave it to him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. I don't know what angle they saw because I've seen multiple angles of this play. It was a really, really bad call.
Yeah, it was real bad. They tried to do the Jalen Hurts tookish push, but it didn't work out so well for him. But it actually worked out for him.
It wasn't even that. It was just a regular QB sneak.
Yeah.
And some guys went over to push him towards the very end of it because of the fact that he wasn't going to get it.
Yeah, fell right on his face. Speaking of that, Kenny Pickett had he was 17 for 25.
Whoa. I see what you did there. I put the crazy notes that make you say weird things, and you just skipped them over. You skipped them over.
I did a little bit.
You did not just a little bit. You skipped over the entire weird part.
I was going to go back to that. Don't you worry. How to switch it up on you. So Kenny Pickett, 17 of 25, 230 yards, and with a rushing touchdown. Pickens, not to be mixed up with Pickett. Pickens, 5 catches, 107 yards. All the picks. TJ Watt had a good old interception. He was all over this game as well. Puka Nacua had 8 catches, 154 yards. And he had that one bomb that was like, 46, 47 yards. Yeah. Beautiful between 2 receivers. Matt Stafford, they pretty much cut him down. He was 14 of 29 with 231 yards on day, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And just like Drew wanted me to read, Kenny Pickett got the most glorious spot ever.
I said generous, not glorious.
Oh, no, we're going with glorious because this comment. It made the VIP lounge at the strip club look uninviting and how generous it was. The Rams had no timeout, so they couldn't even challenge. You're saying they hit the G spot?
I was trying to think of a place that looked inviting. I was like, that place is inviting. They're always trying to get you going there.
Spend all your monies.
Oh, yes. Listen, it's a college tuition fund.
Or a single mom fund. Either way.
Either way, it's an important cause. Okay, let's get let's get into the comments here. We'll pay the bills, then we'll get to the rest of the games here real quick. So Dennis says, sorry guys, I'm an old coach. I'm anal about 3 things: holder, long snapper, and punt returner. If that's the only things you're anal about, you're doing good, Dennis. Just saying.
Yeah.
He also says Parcells didn't have a Brady. Yeah, listen, a lot of coaches didn't have a Brady. Brady is the GOAT. So at one point, you got to figure out how to win without a Brady. Just saying. You got one more. He got one more without Belichick, and I think it kind of cements that it wasn't Belichick. It was 100% Parcells. And that's not taken away from Parcells. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He's one of the greatest coaches ever. But in the end, he didn't win one without Belichick. Made a lot of teams better. Never quite got over the hump. So John says, what did I miss? Terrible connection again. Roberto, it's all your fault. You leaned in too far and affected my connection. LOL. John says, Puka, I just puked in the toilet. I had something bad shake my head. Sober than I want. What's up? I says, good night, peeps. I'm going to have to catch the replay in the AM before work. Appreciate you, man.
Cool. See you in the AM, bud.
And that's the nice thing always about doing the videos like this live. If you want to watch some live, watch some live. If you don't get the chance, it's on later on.
Yeah.
I'll always tell people, too, if you're going to watch this later on, especially if it's like a day or two later, watch it on YouTube because I can take the intro out, and that's what we always do. So it just makes it a little bit of an easier watching experience there. All right, let's pay the bills real quick, and then we are off to the rest of the games here. Oh yes, the rest of the games.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
That's for you, John. We know how much you love that. That's for you, man.
Love you, bud.
All righty, guys. Let's get to the next game here. Cardinals at the Seahawks. Seahawks win 20-10. The Cardinals D really try to keep them in the game, but the Seahawks were just clearly the better team here when it boils down to it. Joshua Dobbs, 19 of 33, 146 yards and a rushing TD. By the way, a very impressive rushing TD. It's like a 20-yard rushing TD on a very long third down. So good play by him. Budda Baker finally returned to the game there after a long bout with an injury there, had an interception in the game, so he made his presence known. Geno Smith, 18 of 24, 219 yards and an interception, 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker III, Esquire, had 26 rushes, 105 yards, and keeping with our tradition of trying to make ourselves feel good about the picks we made in the draft, Jackson Smith-Njigba, 4 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown there. Finally broke out with something there. I still think that kid's going to be special. I think he's just being kind of, blocked by the fact that he's got Tyler Lockett and
they got Metcalf. You got one of the best.
Metcalf, yeah.
1-2.
Strong to play for a second. So, he's their third pick, with a third guy when they have 2 other guys that are legit 1,000-yard receivers in this league. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard to make an impact from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be a Robin to a Batman when you got 2 Batmans over there.
He's not even. He's like Batgirl.
Yeah, well, I guess he would be Robin because it's like
Lockett is Robin. Lockett is Robin.
Yeah. He's supposed to be there once, but I mean, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, he's a good talent. He's got 173 yards on the season so far. So, not exactly lighting it up. But he's still going to have 420 yards as a third receiver right now at this pace. And that'll probably get better. He'll probably get, I would say, 500, 600 or so when his whole thing is done. Because rookies, some of them hit the wall. Some of them get better as time goes on. I think he'll get better.
I think he gets better. And plus, I do think they're going to go into the playoffs. So he's going to have at least one more game to increase those stats.
Plus, keep in mind, he didn't play college all last year.
This is true.
He's got some rust to knock off, so maybe that rust is finally coming off. All right, next one.
All right. The other upset game, you had the Packers go into the Mile High Club over here. The Broncos.
Fitting, Randy.
Broncos 19, Packers 17.
Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin.
That Bronco D finally showed up. That thing that was supposed to be around that was talked about all year about how great they're going to be. It would let up 70 points against the Dolphins. Well, they stopped the Pack attack in that first half.
Now, I will say this, though. The Packers, I believe, are coming off a bye. And
they are.
That's part of why they started off so slow.
You would think they had more time to plan for this game, if you will.
A
But yeah, they just
a lot of players a little rusty coming off of that though too. Like it's not unusual. It's not unusual to have rust after the bye.
I mean, you got to think too about this. Is this the LaFleur offense? Like, is this like, is this have that post Aaron Rodgers jitters? Like, can we put it together? Can we figure it out? Because Aaron Rodgers kind of ran that. Aaron Rodgers kind of ran his own offense over there. But I mean, time will tell.
I still think it's just that. I think it's a little bye week rust there had to be shaken off. And
I mean, Love started off first 2 games. Oh, he shook it off. He started off the first 2 weeks of football with 3 touchdowns in each of those games in the first 2 weeks, but he hasn't looked as good as since then. Anyway,
we'll see.
Jordan Love was 21 of 31 with 180 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Whoa! You're not even giving the recap. You just totally skipped the recap.
Oh, we're gonna go back there. Don't you worry.
There was nothing perverted this time. I promise.
I know.
I didn't put anything else crazy and wonky in there.
Well, Romeo Dobbs and Jordan.
Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? 'Tis in the end zone.
He's in the end zone. Both had a score touchdown. Not Watson, who is on my fantasy. That jerk.
Randy Watson.
Damn it.
Wrong Watson.
Russell Wilson, 20 of 29, 194 yards and a touchdown. Now, did he shake off his rust? And is it just a bad offense?
No, he did have a impressive run to the game. But no, when you're 20 of 29 and you're 194 yards, that's game manager. That's game manager all over it, dude.
Yeah, I'm saying some of the stuff he looks like he's following the game plan, and I don't think it's 100% him. He looks a little better last year. Jared Judy had 5 catches for 64 yards.
Hold on. He looked a little better than last year. He looked like shit last year. Let's call it what it is. He went from diarrhea to solid poo. Let's call it what it is.
Touche. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Corell Sutton
he added some iron to his diet. That's all he did, okay?
Ooh. Little potassium, too.
A little riboflavin.
Yeah. Cordell Sutton had 6 catches, 76.
Potassium.
I like my potassium.
Kazakhstan, number 3 world producer in potassium.
But so
there goes our listenership in Kazakhstan. It's gone. They make fun of our country. We done.
That's it. We're gone.
My sister, number 1 prostitute in all of Kazakhstan.
But the Packers, who were held scoreless in this first half, they came back. It was in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter. It was 17-16. But the Broncos kicked the game-winning field goal with less than 4 minutes left in this football game, causing the Broncos to get their second win.
Oh, yes. It's a theme. We got our second win. Broncos get a second win. Bears get a second win. There's a lot of second wins.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with second wind.
You said a little windy there.
Maybe second wins are second wins. Ooh.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yes, maybe they are. It's time to turn things around. Turn around.
Every now and then you get a second wins.
After eating Taco Bell, turn around. Alrighty. Next up, the Chargers. Chiefs win 31-17. The game was close throughout, but the Chargers punted the ball to McCole Harbin, fresh off his trade back to the Chiefs, who set him up with amazing field goal position. Isaiah Pacheco for the TD, and the Chiefs were now up by 14 with 3 minutes left, which pretty much seals any deal when you're playing the Chiefs at that point. Justin Herbert in the game, 17 of 30, 259, touchdown, 2 interceptions. Not his best game there. Joshua Palmer was the guy, surprisingly, was the leading receiver for them. 5 catches, 133 yards. Patrick Mahomes, 32 of 42, 424 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception.
Remember last week when you were like, hey, I don't know if he looks so good this year.
No, I said
I listened to Giant Goofballs. Here you go, Drew.
I said the Chiefs' offense didn't look so good, and let's be very honest and say that the Chargers have made are about just as bad as the Broncos are defensively this year. So I mean, we'll see what happens when he plays a legit team. I'm just saying.
I mean, let's talk about some of the defenses now. Like this Chiefs defense has, since they lost to the Lions, which is also week 1,
Yeah.
they've not let up any more points. What was it, 28, 26 points they let up? They're averaging, I think.
They've been playing really good.
Yeah. They've been not shutting it down teams, but they're keeping them under 20 for the most part. And when your team puts up 30 every game, that's a game. That's how you win games.
Don't forget, they got our former deep coordinator there, Spags, the old once a Giant, always a Giant there for him too as well. Former head coach for the Giant even too. Don't forget he's coached like 3 games, I think, whatever it was, the end of the season.
Intern.
So Travis Kelce on the day, 12 receptions, but ties his career high, 179 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 Granny Winning groupie there as well. It's Taylor Swift again at the game, and the TV just loves her nonstop, and the fans all hate her because we just want to watch freaking football. I understand she's at the game, guys. I understand it. She's dancing with Patrick Mahomes' wife. No one gives a damn. Let's watch some goddamn football. You know what I really wish they would do? Like, the red zone and all these different angles and cameras. Let's just put a Taylor Swift channel up of her watching the game. So those people who don't actually watch football that want to watch her can just watch her while we watch the game.
What you could do is put it in the red zone and you could just watch her watching the red zone.
Yes, like that kind of thing. Like a dual screen they just put for those idiots that want to watch Taylor Swift all day long. I mean, those individuals. Did I say idiots? Oops.
Oopsie daisy.
Travis Kelce, though, back to the football here. His touchdown. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch that. Look it up because, oh my God, was it amazing. So literally catches the ball at like the 1 yard line with his back to the end zone, and all of his teammates just literally pushed him into the end zone. It was very much like you're talking about the Eagles play before they always do. It was like that as a reception. It was very interesting to watch and very, very smart play by the Chiefs overall to think that and do that in that scenario. But yeah, it was fun to watch there. That Chiefs are now they're on a 13-game win streak in divisional games now. So if you're playing
impressive.
Yeah, I mean think about it. They got 3 guys they play them twice a year. That means it's been more than 2 years since they've lost to an AFC West opponent. Let's remember that we do picks.
Touche. Sunday Night Football. Da 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 da. 2 teams coming 5-1. One walks away with an extra loss. Sadly, it is the Dolphins. Dolphins lose to the Eagles 31-17. I love how I have to go with the Eagles and the refs because let's be honest, you're right there. The Eagles and the refs do beat the Dolphins. It was a close game, but right in the second half, they kind of just, and it's more importantly the fourth quarter, they kind of just
the police coming for the refs for their bad calls.
Pretty much. Yeah. AJ Brown got a touchdown in the third. And it's pretty much took the Eagles to the win. Gainwell gets a touchdown in the fourth and just put the game into bye-bye territory. Although I also had Gainwell and AJ Brown on my fantasy team, but
I see who it is.
It's okay. Tua, 23 of 32, 216 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interceptions. Not his best day, but
no,
he did it right.
Listen, there was a lot of bad calls in this, and I never want to give the Eagles credit, but I'll give their defense credit. They did a good job with that Dolphin offense. They
slowed them down. They really did, which I don't want to admit.
The refs helped still.
This is true.
There was a bad call. So there was calls that were called on them as if they had
actually pass interference.
Yeah, pass interference when there was no pass interference, not calling it when there was it, depending, it was like it was definitely issues with that ref, that whole ref crew.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill had a pretty good day. Not a great day to get him over 2,000 yards on the year. He had 11 catches, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. Jerome Baker, pick 6. Jalen Hurt, 23 of 31, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing. Sorry, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rush lost a fumble. Bomb.
I had to put the fumble in there. Yeah, he's honestly he's been giving up the
4th,
ball at a pretty high
5th.
rate this year. He's already matched his turnovers from all of last year.
He did it pretty much last game.
Yeah, I mean week 7, and you're already doing that. That's not good.
No. Yeah, AJ Brown, 10 catches, 137 yards, 1 touchdown. Dallas Goedert, 77 yards, 1 touchdown off of 5 catches. And then as of right now, we're in the middle of Monday Night Football.
Monday night. We can give people at least the update for where we're at there. Obviously, we haven't been watching because we were, recording here. But the Vikings are surprisingly up, as it looks like the first half is about to end, 16-7 on the Niners there. So, who would have thought that all the Vikings had to do was lose Justin Jefferson to potentially beat a good team?
Yeah, and look at that.
So,
Joseph's extra point is no good.
Ooh. I guess that's going to be that probably won't hold up, but you guys will see it if you would not watch this live, and you can go to Google the game real quick and see what happened there. All right, guys, we'll be back again for you guys Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, Rob and I will be on time for that one. Sorry about today's little late start. We both got caught up at work stuff there, and we called them up. I was like, hey, do you mind if we start at 8:30? We got a little hold up, I think. I'm still getting text messages and calls right now, actually, for things that are going on at work. It's like 9:30, and I'm still getting them. So, in fact, when we're done here, I'll be on a call for work for something. So, yeah, it's that kind of fun night. That kind of fun night, guys. So it's a good time to also mention the buymeacoffee.com/2 Giant Goofballs so I can quit my job.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Appreciate you guys that were listening live there and watching with us. Definitely appreciate it. If you're not, though, we still also do appreciate that as well. So as always, we're all live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter or X, Twitch, and
X,
of course, Rob's favorite,
Drew's LinkedIn
profile. Oh yes, my LinkedIn profile. And of course, we're also available afterwards the next day on all the audio podcast platforms. So Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, all the big ones, we are on them. That didn't sound very good. It sounded better in my head before I said all the big ones, we're on them. Oh yes. As I put up the wrong screen, I meant to put this up on the screen here. All right, guys. So, again, we will see you guys Wednesday night, 9 p.m. as we go over the Week 8 picks and give you guys an update on how we did this week. See if Rob caught up to me or not.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I went there.
Ooh. Let's just say there's a lot of upsets this week.
So, Deb says, is Purdy playing? Yes, Brock Purdy is playing. He's 11 of 13, 122 yards on the game so far, so he's been pretty efficient, that's for sure.
Yep.
John says, you're leaving already? Listen, I like that you'll miss us when we're gone here. We'll be back again Wednesday. We've been on for an hour, John. I know.
It's almost our bedtime. And plus, I want to watch foosball.
I gotta be up in 8 hours, and I still have to edit this and all this kind of fun stuff for the audio. I know it's a hard knock life
for us.
It's a hard knock life
for us.
Anyway, again, we'll see you guys Wednesday night. Appreciate you guys all for chiming in here, especially you guys all in the comments section. If you haven't already, hit the like wherever you're watching, whether it's YouTube, Facebook. Don't be the ninja watcher that stalks us in the night and doesn't do something like that there. It helps us. It pushes it out to YouTube, Facebook, and all those things there. So appreciate it. If you're watching on audio, again, give us a 5-star review. If you're on Apple gives you the chance to give you a full, review on there. Tell everybody how sexy we are on the video so they come to watch us on video as well and how amazing we are. Don't lie. Just tell them how amazing we are. It's okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
The most modest duo in Giants podcasting.
I'll be sure to do my mustache for you guys.
Mustachio. All righty, guys. Again, we will see you guys Wednesday night. Appreciate it. As always, Giant fans,
Go
Demon!
Go
Demon!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?
Thank you to those who have signed up for our silver gold levels of membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.